What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Today's video, let's do this a little out of order. First of all, I want to thank my Patreon supporters and my YouTube subscribers for supporting the channel, because that's what makes videos possible. So I want to thank you for that. We're literally getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers. It's getting towards the end of 2023. So I just want to thank everybody who watches this thing. So many of you probably already know what Dylan Talks Tone is, and it's guitar related stuff, right? Like we talk about guitar stuff here. This video is not actually for you. So I'm not telling you to stop watching this video, but what I am telling you to do is pause this video and give this video to someone who might buy you a gift in the very near future. So, if that's a relative, a friend, a whomever that might be in the market to buy you a guitar-related gift in the near future for some reason or another, they're the ones that want to watch this video so that they can get you something. You could benefit from this video. So, make sure that you pause and do that. You can come back and watch the rest of it if you want. But this video is not for you. This video is for them. So, do that, and we'll be back in just a second. I guess we'll welcome everybody who isn't really a guitar player, who might not be a guitar player, who might be a friend of a guitar player, or maybe you do play guitar too, but you just want to get your guitar friend a gift. I'm going to give you 10 things that you can get your guitar playing friend, or maybe you could just buy this stuff for yourself. This is all stuff. This is not one of those like AI videos with the fake voice. This is all stuff literally that I have or have had here, reviewed myself, used myself, tested myself, and stuff that is real. And so we're going to give you kind of all across the budget too. Things that maybe a few $100 for that person who really means a lot to you, down to a few dollars for, just that acquaintance that you don't really care about, but you got to get them something. I'm just kidding. Anyway, all budgets, included. So let's get started. Okay, I should say too that most of this stuff is going to have links in the description. Some of this stuff does have affiliate links and it does help out the channel. So it doesn't cost you anything extra and you don't have to use them if you don't want to. But if you do, it does help us out without costing you anything. So I do appreciate it. So here's the first thing. Guitar players got to plug stuff in. Okay, so they got to plug electric guitar players and some acoustic guitar players have to plug guitars in. This is my favorite guitar cable company. This is Runway Audio out of Nashville, Tennessee. They're made right there in Nashville. This is not some outsourced thing. They do it all. They come in a bunch of colors. They are very heavy duty. They have lifetime warranties. This is their new silent one, so when you plug it in, it doesn't make a buzzing sound, which is pretty cool. And on the other, kind of the lower budget side of that, at $10 or $15 a piece, they have patch cables for plugging in, maybe even less than that, for plugging in your pedals and stuff. And you can order them by the inch. You can order them based on which way you want the cables to face. And these are really high quality stuff. Like I said, lifetime warranty stuff. Really, really nice. Got the little logo on there. If you use code Dylan Talks Tone in their discount code, you'll get 10% off everything, all these cables. So there you go. That's number one. Number two is going to be probably my favorite kind of amp-ish thing of the year, and that is the Tonex pedal. For those of you that are not familiar with guitar stuff, it's kind of a complicated one to explain, but basically you can use this as a replacement to a guitar amp, and it's very small. So it is not incredibly expensive, but it's on the higher end of the things that we're recommending today. It's like $400 or something. But this thing is fantastic. It saves a lot of space. See, here's some of those Runway Audio cables. And it sounds fantastic. I don't want to get into all the details of it because that would take forever, but let's just say that this is the piece of equipment that I use the most on demo videos and playing guitar and recording This is probably one of the most useful pieces of gear that I own. While we're talking about guitar amps, this is the size that people are usually used to, right? This one is probably, next to the Tonex thing that I just showed you, the thing I use the most. I take one of these Runway audio cables, I take this little guy, battery powered, 8 hours of playtime, I think, something like that. And it's got a little app so that you can set up your sounds. And I play this in the living room. I'll take an electric guitar, play it in the living room while I'm watching football, while I'm watching hockey, mostly while I'm watching Formula One. Yes, this is the coolest little thing. They are relatively attainable price-wise. There is actually a smaller version of this that I'll leave a link to as well that I don't have. That's very cool, but I can speak for this one. I love this thing. I've really only charged it 2 or 3 times in the whole time that I've owned it, which is over a year, and I use it all the time. So the battery life is really good. It sounds great for its size. I'll give you a little kind of a... Some people don't like the fact that it's app enabled. But what I've found is if you go on the app once or twice and you just set up 4 presets that you like for your various guitars and your various sounds, and then just leave them, don't mess with it, and then just use this knob to select them. Super cool, got a tuner built in, headphone jack in case you want to be really quiet. This guy right here, I absolutely love this thing. I use it all the time. This and my Tonex are probably, I use them more than my big amps. Honestly, this is probably, and maybe I use this more than my Tonex because I play every day in the living room. Yeah, I like this guy. Oh, these are also on sale, I think. There's like a Black Friday thing. I'll leave a code to that in the description because I think these things are on sale. Okay, so we've talked guitar cables and we've talked guitar amps. Both of these, this thing and what we just talked about, could be for somebody who's really never played before, kind of entry level into guitar world kind of stuff, but still really great stuff that I use as a guitar enthusiast every day. So don't be afraid of them not liking this stuff because it's actually, you know, real legit gear that I think they would really like. In that same kind of way, this next thing, we need a guitar. I would recommend, and I don't have one of these here, but I'll give you a clip of me playing one because we did review it. That is the Squire Sonic Telecaster. Now, you don't have to get that guitar. There's about, I think there's 5 or 6 models of the Squire Sonic series, and they all start right around $200. So a complete guitar right around $200 that works really well. They play great, they sound great, and it's a great entry into Fender world. For those of you that are not familiar, Fender is like the Ford of guitars, like the first mass-produced for a lot of people guitar that a lot of people know, since you probably know who Fender is, even if you don't play guitar. So very, very reputable brand, makes great stuff, and this $200 import version of that is the entry level into Fender world. So even someone who is very beginner at a guitar will really enjoy playing a guitar that they're familiar with their, their guitar heroes playing. Even experienced folks like myself who've been playing a long time really enjoy this inexpensive guitar because it's fun to modify it and fun to add things to it and fun to make a project out of it. So even if your guitar player friend is experienced, chances are he will enjoy this guitar. Even though it's not an expensive guitar, it's a good guitar. And I think that it's very cool. And you can, there's obviously a bunch of different colors and things like that and different models. So this would be, in my opinion, kind of the best way to enter, in 2023 anyway, enter into electric guitar land. Well, the next thing is you gotta have something to store your guitar on. And in my opinion, it should be something cool. Not just one of those ugly metal stands that clogs up the living room with guitar stuff. This is what I have in my living room. These are made in Texas. This is called the Zither Music Stand. And what's really cool about it is it's super, it's like thin and light and very, it's like a nice piece of furniture. This particular one is a darker color. There's a bunch of different colors. I'll leave a link to them. The guitar goes on there like that, and you may think that you could tip the guitar over or the dog's gonna come by and wag his tail and hit it, but it's actually really stable. I don't know what they do, but the design of it's really stable. Like I'm pushing on it pretty hard. Like it's, I don't know. I've never had a guitar tip over with this stand. It's really good. And it, like I said, it looks like furniture. It's really nice. It's got some padding down here in case the guitar comes back and whacks it there. The thing up here doesn't melt finish like on this is a nitrocellulose finished guitar, and it doesn't harm the nitrocellulose because cheap guitar stands will do that. I really like this thing. I have two of them in the living room, and this is this one and another one in the living room, and this is what we store. At least the two guitars that I'm playing most of the time are in the living room hanging on these guys. Zither Music Company. They come in a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different models. I'll leave links to them below. I really like these things. And Tony, the guy that owns this company, is a really cool dude. And I appreciate him. Okay, so those first 5 things might not fall into everybody's budget. Let's bring the budget down and let's go for 5 things that are pretty affordable that I think would really help out your favorite guitar player friend or relative. One is this little humidity temperature thing. For those of you that are not familiar with guitar stuff, it's very wise to keep the humidity of your guitars around 55-ish, something like that. And so in the wintertime, especially because we're transferring into winter, some people are starting to use their heat now. It changes in the house, and what can happen is it will actually change, the wood will expand and contract in the guitar, and it will change how the guitar plays, or it can introduce problems. So being able to monitor your humidity in your home is very cool. I just got these on Amazon. I'll leave them to a link. Leave a link to them. I think I got 2 of them in a package. So I put one in the office and I put one in the living room because we've got guitars in here and we've got guitars in there. So I try to monitor both rooms and keep them right around that 55% humidity range, 45 to 55. It's not an exact science, but you'll know your guitars. The person who plays guitar will know his guitars and how much he can kind of vary that. So anyway, very affordable, very useful for this purpose. Every guitar, in order to remain functional and make music, must have guitar strings on it. Let's not say most. A lot of guitar players will shop for guitar strings by price, not necessarily by quality. It's kind of like underwear, like sometimes you just don't want to spend money on certain things because it's just like, why am I spending money on this? But then you try a quality pair of underwear and you're like, I don't know that I can go back to those tighty whities anymore. You know what I mean? Stringjoy strings are kind of that for me. They're a few bucks more than the cheapest stuff that you can get on the internet. They're not expensive, and also if you amortize it out, they last way longer. These particular ones are for acoustic guitars, but that brand in general, Stringjoy, I'll leave a link to them. Their electric guitar and acoustic guitar strings are fantastic. And what's really fun about them, once you get into the Stringjoy ecosystem, is if you have specific needs, like if you want to change the specifications of what strings you use, they'll do that for you. I really like Stringjoy strings. The only time I use those cheaper kind of strings is when I'm doing setups and when I know I'm going to damage strings with files and things like that. But the rest of the time, I use Stringjoy strings, and I really do. For about the last year and a half, it's pretty much all I've used, and I really do like them. Again, these are made by hand. This is not outsourced stuff. This is not made in a factory somewhere and then rebranded. These are actually made on manual winding machines in, well, automatic manual, however you want to say it, winding machines in Nashville, Tennessee. They're actually made in Nashville, Tennessee. We have a shop tour where we go there and learn about all the machines and stuff on our channel. Definitely check Stringjoy strings out. So we've got guitars, we've got amps, we've got strings, we got all kinds of stuff. We got like the whole rig. Okay, let's turn our attention to the workbench, because there's gonna be maintenance when we change strings, that sort of thing, and we do adjustments on our guitar. We're going to need some tools. So I'll give you a couple of alternatives for tools. This one I can get on Amazon. This is Cruise Tools. It comes in a little bag. It's got everything a guitar player needs to do all of the setup work and all of the various little things that you need to do. I keep one of these in my guitar case when I go out and I play a gig, which I don't do very often anymore. But when I was playing every week, one of these would actually be in my bag all the time, because if you needed to change strings, needed to make an adjustment, needed to do a quick repair, everything in here. I think these are like 40 bucks. So very cool. This is a very cool little thing. It's easy. It fits in the little spot underneath the neck, usually on most guitar cases. It's just nice and compact, fits all in there, and it's got everything you need in there. The other tool kit that I really like is the Stewmac Tool Kit. These have recently come down a lot in price. And what I like about these ones, this is for the guy who, or gal, who wants to do a little bit more. This is for maybe some adjustments in the shop. This is the one I keep around on the bench. If you've got some stripped out screw holes, if you've got some other little problems, there's more specific little small tools for other bridge adjustments and less common sizes in here, and some specialized tools as well. And I really like this little maintenance kit. It actually still has all the pieces. I have not lost any yet. And I really like this guy too. I'll leave a link to this one. I feel like this is a really important thing to have to do repairs. Now the other thing, if we're really starting to dive into some repairs on your guitar, is going to be a soldering iron. That means if you're going to change your volume pots, your tone pot, your capacitors, if you're going to replace pickups, anything like that, a soldering iron is key. This particular soldering iron is about $120. I'll leave a link to it. I love it. It is amazing. I use it every day. I've actually got two of these. One for lead-free and one for leaded. I really love this soldering iron. What's really cool about it is when you put it on something, if it soaks up heat and starts to cool down, the computer in here knows to heat it up. So it's very even temperatured, very cool. There's a budget version that I used in the shop for a long time as my main soldering iron before I got this one. It's by Weller. It's a lot less expensive, but it's very good for doing guitar repairs. Little cheat, little spoiler alert. If you buy this, you put it on 3.5, you'll pretty much be able to do everything you ever wanted to do in a guitar. Changing pots, changing caps, changing pickups, soldering on pickup covers, all those things. I did all those things with this much less expensive, like half the cost of this one. So if you are a hobbyist who doesn't do this seriously every day, you might not need to spend the money for this one. Or if your friend or whomever you're buying the gift for, doesn't take it this seriously, then you might not need this one. You could just get this less expensive one. It is phenomenal. But I have used it myself. I'm not just telling you. I have used it myself, and I have recommended it for a long time. It works very, very well. Well, there you go. There's some gift ideas. Hopefully, you can share this with someone who, if you've watched this far and you are a guitar player, definitely give it to somebody. Share it with somebody. Let them know, hey, I would like any of the things on this list. And I think most guitar players would enjoy one or all of these things. Most of the stuff on this list are things that that there's kind of no downside to any of it, right? Some stuff you'll read in reviews and be like, I don't know, is that very good? Most of the stuff on this, well, all of the stuff on this list there's kind of no downside. There's just upside to it. They're really good stuff. All price points, attainable for most people that are buying gifts for others, and no experience level needed or no experience level kind of overshot either. I think very experienced guitar players as well as beginner guitar players would like all of this stuff on this list. Thank you so much for everybody who watches these videos. Thank you for a great 2023. This is not the last video of 2023, but I'm just telling you thank you. Please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 90,000 subscribers, and I think it's so cool that you all are here doing this with me. Please use those links in the description. It will help the channel out just a little bit, and doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button and the subscribe button, and we will see you on Monday.